Everyone is learning React, but a very few people understand why React came into existence and what problem it actually solves. So in the next 10 minutes, I'll explain React in the simplest way possible so you finally get it. Let's start with the basics. React is a JavaScript library which is used to build user interfaces, the part of the website which users sees and interact with. It involves forms, buttons, navbars, etc. Now here is the important part. React doesn't just help you to build user interface, but it also helps you to manage it efficiently. Because in real apps, UI is not static, it changes all the time. Now let us understand the real problem. Before React, developers used plain JavaScript to build user interfaces. But the problem starts when your web needs to update the things on screen again and again. Let us take an example. Imagine you're using a shopping website. You search for something, you click on a product and you add it to your cart. Every time you do something, the screen needs to get updated. With plain JavaScript, you have to manually select the element, manually change the content, and you have to handle everything by yourself. And as your app grows, this becomes a big problem. So the real issue is not JavaScript is bad, but handling updates again and again manually becomes complicated. That's exactly the problem React is built to solve. The biggest idea in React is components. Think of components like building blocks. In React, you break your UI into smaller parts. For example, navbar, sidebar, buttons, each of these are created as a separate component. And instead of writing everything in one file, create these components separately and connect them together using import and export. So your entire website is basically made by combining these smaller pieces. Now here is why this is powerful. Instead of building one giant UI, you break your code into smaller and manageable parts. And when something changes like clicking button or updating data, React only updates the part which need to be updated, not the complete page. That's what makes websites faster and smoother. And the best part, you can reuse these components anywhere. For example, if you created one button, you can use it anywhere in the entire website. You don't need to rewrite it again. Now here is the most important concept of React, states. State is just a data which changes over time. For example, a counter number, what you type in input, or a user is logged in or not. Powerful part of state is when the state changes, React automatically updates the screen. You don't have to manually change anything. Let me explain you with an example. Imagine a button with a number. When you click on that button, the number increases. That number is a state. And as soon as the state changes, React updates what you see on the screen automatically. Instead of manually updating the UI, you just update the data. That's what makes React so powerful. In React, you don't handle the UI, you just update the data and React handles everything. So why React is so popular? Because it solves real problems like reusability, scalability and efficiency. That's why companies like Netflix, Instagram and Facebook uses React. One important thing, React is not a full framework or a backend tool. It only handles the front end. For a full app, you still need to learn things like Next.js, APIs, databases, etc. React is just one part of the system. So if you were confused about React before, then you just need to remember this part. React is component plus state. That's it. Don't try to memorize everything. Just try to understand how it works. And once you get this, everything becomes easier.